Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode number 12. The Frack is Back. I think it's a good title.
Can we just talk about Angela's tagline, though? I don't really love taglines all the time, but hers, I really like.
What is hers?
If you want to find the shade, just look for the oak.
Oh,
And
that
I
is
really
good.
like it because I think she gives good shade. She's not phage or level with her shade, but I see potential there.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
I
me
like
too.
it. We start out with Kelli going over to Shamea's house, and she calls her up and says, "Hey, best friend, where are you at?" And she's in the backyard at the pool, but I was just surprised to see that they're calling each other best friends.
Well, Shamea said in the beginning of the season, like, she likes to get down with Kelli. I mean,
Yeah.
it was Kelli and Britt at the time, but I think that's changed.
Yeah.
And it's going to change even more between Kelli and Britt. But I think Kelli and Shamea just got off well. They're both like good time girls.
Yeah.
They like to have fun.
I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. So
They're each popping a bottle, so
yes,
that
they
day
are.
was going to be fun.
Yeah. They're talking about hosting a trip together, and they're going to be co-host, and they're going to go to Grenada, which is the island of spice. I like that they had mentioned that they recently had a hurricane there, and they want to do things to bring some relief items there to the people. I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, to provide aid and relief to those who were affected by the hurricanes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they know somebody there, so they call up and like see what it is that they could bring, like what's needed. I was like, I love that they're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kelli starts talking about her divorce, and she's almost coming up to her divorce date, and it's been 2.5 years.
$58,000. That might be what she's making her first season on this show.
Well, I don't think she's making that much. You don't make that much your first season.
That's what I'm saying. She might not even be making that much.
No, she's not. She's not making that much her first season. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, I hope she gets her date and she gets everything that she's looking for, that she can be done with
Me
this,
too.
because that's craziness.
Me too.
Then we see Porsha, Diane, and Lauren are all looking at a house.
Does this triple dynamic not like totally remind you of Lexi Wood and her mother and sister?
It does, but on a different level.
Sure, on a different level.
Yeah.
But I think Lexi's going to get to that level.
You think so?
I sure do.
So it's an 8-bedroom, 7-bathroom house, and it's $4.2 million. We see that in 2021, Porsha and Simon were shopping together and looking for a house, the one I guess that she's living in now, and she's not sure, I guess, depending on what happens with the divorce, she needs to have a backup plan, right? Because if she loses the house or she has to pay for the house, because I don't know how the house was being paid for.
I mean, he doesn't have any damn money, right? Aren't we finding this out now?
I think so. I think that's the case, that there's no money.
Right.
We'll have to wait and see.
So, did you hear her say he has 6 kids?
Yes, I was surprised to hear that.
Me too.
Yeah. So she wants to have options. This is the first house that she looked at. She starts talking about her marriage to Cordell, that, she gave up everything just to be done with him. Like, she left that marriage with nothing. So when she got married to Simon, she set it up so that if she was going to get divorced, she was going to be fine, which explains why she said that she filed for divorce right away when she found out there was things going on that she didn't know about, so that her prenup could kick in. So the fact that she got the prenup, she learned from her mistakes with her marriage to Cordell. So I give her kudos for learning.
He was an ex-ball player. She wasn't any, no, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but she wasn't who she is today.
No.
She didn't have any coin in the bank. I think her family, she does have some
money.
Right?
I think so. Her grandparents, yes. I think that, yes.
But not what she has now. So back then, to fight him in the court,
And I think she just
was
didn't
probably
even
more difficult.
right, I don't even think she had it in her, like, they weren't
Right.
married that long.
Yeah. I remember he was a dick, right?
Yes. Yes, he
Yeah, he was
was.
a dick.
Yes. I mean, we saw them go through counseling together, she wanted to have the baby, it was a whole big thing. No, he was not a good
Yeah.
guy. He was not a good guy. He was
Yeah.
very controlling.
Right.
Porsha is telling them about the trip, and she's saying that her relationship right now with Shamea is good, that they had the talk. It's just a question of her now at this point letting the ladies know that her and Shamea are cool and that, they're just letting everything lie and they're just going to move forward, which I really hope that's the case, but I have a feeling that it's not.
I don't think it is either, but I was really hoping it was the case as well.
Yeah. Next, we see Kelli is getting a facial, and so is her dog, Cha Cha, and her daughter, Chloe. I mean, this dog, I want to come back as freaking Cha Cha.
Wait, the best parts were they're like, she might have lost some lashes. She's like, oh, she lost some lashes. Kelly, it's gonna be okay. Because
Yes.
I was thinking, this poor dog. I absolutely hate wearing false eyelashes. I feel like there's something crawling on my eyeballs. I can't see straight. This dog must be like, what the fuck is this woman doing?
Right.
I'm
Facials.
already low to the ground.
Right.
I can't even see where I'm going now.
I know. I know. It's so
Crazy.
funny. It's so funny what she does with this dog. Well,
Yeah, good for her.
then we see Shamea's on the radio station V103, and they're talking about her dropping her new song. And they're kind of throwing a little bit of shade. They tell her that another cast member has dropped a song, and she's like, well, who? And they're like, well, Drew. And she's like, well, I haven't heard it on this radio station.
Thought they said she dropped a track off. Is that what they said?
Did they say that?
I thought that's what they said, but I could be wrong.
I mean,
I
that
could be
could
wrong.
be. I don't know. Listen, Shamea said she's got so much going on in her life, she forgets who she's beefing with. Okay, good for you. That's exactly how it should be, right?
It should be like that, and I feel like sometimes I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I can hold on to a grudge. So I might see somebody from like the elementary school that my kids went to that I beefed with over some PTO bullshit and almost go to smile and then be like, oh,
No, I
no.
can't do that. No, no.
No, we're not smiling at you.
No, you crossed me 15 years ago, and I will not
That's
forget
right.
it.
That's
That should
right.
go.
At the fall festival. I remember. I got you.
That's so funny, you and Shamea.
Yep. Yep.
So then we see Britt is talking about her new line. I thought it was called Bare Naked, but it's called Bare and Naked. Whatever.
But you thought it was called Bare Naked because that's what she keeps calling it.
Yeah.
But there's so many other things called Bare Naked. She probably couldn't get the damn,
Right.
Trademark.
Exactly.
So she had to call it Bare and Naked, but she's not saying that. She's saying Bare Naked.
Yes, she is. And it's a shapewear line, and she's launching it, and she's inviting all the ladies. Then we see Angela and Charles. They are at their fourth investment property. Okay, this was kind of convoluted.
Yeah, but come on, dude. They dropped the price to $338,000. That house would be triple that in Jersey. I'll take that house for $338,000.
Yep. So it is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 4,256 square foot house. That's just huge.
It's
When
huge.
when she started showing it to us, it was at 465. But a month ago, they flashed back to her talking to the realtor, and she gave him a list of things to do, and he didn't get them done. He said, once we get this done, I'm 99.9% sure it's going to sell. And the listing price at that time was $499. Now she's dropped it down to, like you said, $338. And that's what she paid for the property.
And invested all that money into it.
Right. And then Angela brings up about the story about her mom and her sister that, that she paid, she thinks $490,000 for the house her mom and sister were living in. And then they left that house, and she feels like she did all that work in vain. And then she starts crying while she's talking to Charles and said that she spoke to her mother about the whole situation with her daughter, but she found out what the fight was about between her mother and Charles because she never really knew. Because I guess Charles told her, but she wasn't there to receive it. It turns out the fight was Charles started saying something about Angela not knowing how to cook and clean or something. And the mom all of a sudden just went off on him. And he was not having it. He's like, you're not gonna talk to me in my house like this.
Well, why are you saying your wife can't cook or clean?
Well, I'll
Or
be
maybe
honest
she
with you.
can't. Who knows?
I'll be honest with you. When I heard that part of the story, I kind of chuckled. I was like, "Oh, Bill tells my mom that all the time about me." But I always back it up with, "You knew that when you married me. That's who
Right.
I am. I don't cook and I don't clean. This,
Right.
this is who you married."
And you know what? Honestly, because she's made comments before, I bet you Charles is just like OCD, where like she does clean, it's just not up to his standards or,
His standards.
whatever. Yeah.
And
But
Bill, yeah,
that,
Bill said it to my mom many times. Your daughter, she doesn't cook or clean. And my mother would get a little defensive about it. And I'm like, "Ma, don't worry about it. Like, there's nothing to get offensive about.
yeah,
This is who I
right.
am. He
Right.
knows who he married."
He hasn't left yet. He's not
Right.
going anywhere. So it can't bother him too bad.
Exactly. Exactly. I just thought that was interesting because she apologized and he's like, "Listen, I told you what it was about." And he's like, I don't need to be going back and forth about this, but she really felt bad that this is what the fight was about.
Yeah.
Um, he's like,
It
"It's
was
all
good,
good."
though. It was good
Yeah.
that it was a
Yeah.
nice moment between them.
It was a nice moment. Then I was confused. Like, she tells him about Britt's event and that he's going to go with her. This is what I was confused about. Why is he going? There wasn't any other husbands there. What the hell was Charles going for?
Basically, so that he could
Straighten her
clear his
out?
name. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that I think that was dumb. I really do.
I mean, it was a production move, let's face it.
Yeah, you think they
But
said?
yeah, because Britt's husband and Charles are the only husbands there.
Yeah.
I mean, Shamea's got a husband. Who else? Porsha, no. Drew, no. Well, really, Shamea's the only other one with a husband there,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but
I don't know. I
I
thought it
think
was I mean, that's definitely why he was there because that's what happened. I mean, she did get that out, that whole situation, right? But that was the most effed up event I've ever seen. Like, Britt, what the hell were you doing? I know you hired this event planner, but the event planner dropped the ball.
so. The event decorator put out a statement. She was only there to decorate. She was not in charge of the food. And here's so two things. And I've been fortunate enough to frequent a nice fancy golf club in Monmouth County quite a few times because of my boss, basically,
Mhm.
and for no other reason. So, two things. First of all, you are never getting on the green wearing those shoes. You are
No.
not poking hole in those grounds.
No.
Number one. Number two, you could never dress that way at a golf club, at least in Jersey. Those dresses were up their asses. You could never walk into a golf club in New Jersey wearing anything near that. Because trust me, if you could, I would. 'Cause I have nice legs and I like to show them off. You cannot. So I don't know where they were. I don't know where this golf club is in Atlanta, but that's not how we roll in Jersey at golf clubs. How about all the Balenciaga in this episode? Wasn't there like a scandal with Balenciaga?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. Yes. Yes, there
Yeah,
was.
Shamea was wearing it. Britt was wearing it. That was
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. No, I
But
know.
yeah, this event, there's two things you need to have when you throw an event, and that is good food and good music. You know me, it's my greatest fear in life to host something and not have enough food for everybody.
That's a fact.
Yep. And the fact that she was going to feed some of her guests, not only not feed the other guests, she wasn't even
Sit
going to let them
down.
sit down.
Right, they weren't allowed to sit while other people are sitting at a table. I was like, "What are you doing?"
You were going to have these people stand and starve so you could film this.
I know. That was so and then you hand out
Wild.
gifts. You hand out gifts to the people at the table and nobody else. And like, I think it was Shamea that said there wasn't even tissue paper in the box. There wasn't even tissue paper in the box. There wasn't even a ribbon on it. I mean, what are you doing?
So funny.
Oh,
I
boy.
can't, like, she is, girl, you need to hire an event planner. But yeah, so that event decorator put out a statement and said, I was not the planner of this. I was just there to decorate. Then she gives Angela an extra large.
Oh my gosh. Again, like, what are you thinking?
I mean, Britt. I
Ugh,
mean, listen, and I would take an extra large. Cynthia, maybe because of her height. And, she's a,
voluptuous.
yeah, but not Angela.
No. I mean, that was the worst thrown event I think I've seen on a housewife show in a very long time.
I think you're right. This might go down in Housewives history. I mean, this takes it even from Kenya hosting at that house and only ordering herself food.
Yeah, no, was worse than that because, I mean, were they supposed to be golfing? And if they were, why were only 3 of them golfing? And why wouldn't you tell them to wear golf attire? And then there's nobody there to even greet the people, and then the tables aren't even ready. It's not even decorated. Like, everything about it was wrong.
Ridiculous.
Everything about it was wrong. It
Yeah, it
was
was
just
bad.
yeah. Porsha shows up and she thinks it's gonna start to rain, and she says to someone who's sitting there, like, "What is this event even for?" She said, "Well, I think it's some sort of cosmetic line or something because it's called something naked." Then in her confessional, the producer asks her if the names of their lines are similar. And Portia says, "What do you mean similar? I've had my company for 10 plus years. You got to put some spec on that. And then a re in front of it. I was like, ooh, Portia, that is a read.
Yeah, that was a good read. Very good read. Very, very good.
Then they're going to have a little brunch and Britt's going to do a presentation, but only 10 of them are going to have a little brunch. Everyone else is just supposed to be standing there watching.
Oh my God. I mean, humiliating, embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have no self awareness?
Yeah.
Do you not know people are going to be We're going to be talking about this forever.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about this non event forever.
Yes. Yeah, I think we are.
I mean, I don't think she's coming back.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. So then Angela, when she says she gave me an extra large, Portia said, "That's shady." Angela said maybe she got confused with the toothbrush for her big ass mouth. I was like,
I mean,
Angela,
that is some good shade.
it really is.
And she does have a big ass mouth.
She does. And then,
She must have veneers or something.
yeah, I think definitely. Then Portia asks her what the inspiration was for starting the line. And Britt said, well, when she got herself a BBL a couple of years ago, they used these ugly shapewear pieces and she wanted something that was more for every day. So when she launched her agency a couple years ago, it was her birthday show. She invited everybody that worked for her at the agency to go to Miami, and everyone got to pick whatever cosmetic procedure they wanted to have done. What?
What? I don't even remember her saying this.
Yeah.
I tune out with this one though.
So she invited her entire staff to Miami, and they were allowed to get whatever plastic surgery procedure they wanted done.
And she treated them for
And
it?
she, according to her, and Shamea is like, I would have had joined her team.
I don't know if I believe this. I'm gonna need some fact check. I'm gonna need some ex-employees of Brits to call us up and fact check this.
Well, I mean, we can check with her sisters because they were working there. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Put it out there if you guys got some plastic surgery on Britt's agency. I'd
Please
love
let
to
us
see
know
that.
because
Yeah.
I'm not picking up what she's putting down.
Yep. So then Britt asks Angela, how her and Charles are doing, and Angela just announces that Charles doesn't have a side baby. And the look on everyone's face was like, and then Portia's like, this is what happens when people get hungry. They just start hallucinating and talking about side babies and stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Portia's the first one who said, "I heard something about your husband."
Yeah.
And we all know what she was talking about. So Portia,
Exactly.
sit down.
Exactly. And Britt said, and I'm not one of Charles's whores either. And Charles is like, I don't mess with whores. And and Britt said, no, she was being funny because when they had the conversation, Angela called her a whore, Britt a whore,
Mhm.
when she had made that conversation, that comment about Charles. And I guess they spoke about it and it was okay. So Angela was okay with her saying that. It was just her way of
I
kind
don't
of.
think Charles was okay with her saying that.
No, absolutely not. As he shouldn't have been. He should not have been. And she shouldn't have said it, to be honest with you.
She
She
should
should not.
not have said it. That
She
was
shouldn't.
not it didn't
No.
land.
Right. No. Because Angela said, we're good, to Britt. And then Drew thanks Britt for inviting her and said that, those two need to have a conversation. Drew.
I feel like Drew was like a non-essential employee at this point.
Yeah.
Drew does not fit in with these ladies. She's
No.
lying every scene she's in. I'm good on Drew. I think she needs to go.
Yeah. So those two are arguing about how Shamea called her a lapdog. And, Drew's like, you repeated something to Porsha, not the way it was said, about Pilar's college education. And the producers
Either
asked.
way, you said it. You said it.
She
So
did say it, but it wasn't the way it was said.
no, but you said it.
Right. No,
I
it
mean,
was
you're on
said.
camera saying it.
Right. Producer asked Shamea, Drew, if she stands by, Shamea being a lapdog, and she says that she does. She stands by that. Then Drew
How
at the
about
table.
them Britt telling them to take their mess outside?
Oh my God. Well, before that happens, Shamea is barking. Shamea is sitting there barking at the table. Shmi is barking, and then Britt stands up and announces that this is a classy event, and if you ladies need to have some sort of side conversation, to do it outside. Because Shami was
Classy
literally
event where only certain people get to eat.
and get gifts, only
Right.
10, right? And then Cynthia is like looking around, and she's she's like, I was looking forward to catching up with these ladies, but this is ridiculous. Like, she took her gift and she said her goodbyes and she was out, and I don't blame her.
I don't blame her at all.
I mean, it was
And I like that she Teresa Judice that shit and grabbed her
Grab
bag
that
before
gift.
she left. Yeah,
You
that's
gotta
right.
grab that gift and
Grab
go.
your swag.
Yep. Yeah, that was such a screwed up event. And I don't know.
Time.
I don't know what Britt thought she was doing by standing up and announcing that. Then we see Drew is signing her recording deal. I thought she was at a record label signing it, but it turns out she was
I thought she was at her divorce attorney's. I was so confused when she was like, "Oh, this is a celebration." I'm like, "Oh, good, they're getting divorced."
Right. No. So it was her attorney's office, not her divorce attorney's. Her attorney, I guess her entertainment attorney.
Entertainment attorney, yeah.
Yes. And some other guy is there with her, and she says, well, is Dennis going to be
Her
here?
road manager.
Yes. Okay. And he's like, no, he's going to show up on Zoom. So she's like, well, I want to talk to him before we do this because I need to clear this up about what he's saying about me, which I think she did need to clear that up.
I do too.
So she FaceTimes with Dennis, and he said that did not happen.
But then they flash back and show that it did happen. I mean, is Porsha just lying and making it up? But didn't we see the text message?
No, we didn't see the text message. No.
We didn't.
We never saw the text message. We only heard what Dennis told Porsha and Shamea. We never saw the text message. No,
I swear, no, because it was
we even said
Shamea
it.
and Porsha having dinner with Ralph.
With Ralph.
And I thought Porsha showed them the text. She didn't?
No, that's what we were saying, that there was never any evidence of this. There was never any receipts.
So Porsha could just be lying.
Well, no, Dennis could just be lying too.
Right.
Dennis could just be lying too.
But if Porsha had the text message, because it was a text from Dennis to Porsha telling her, no,
it was Ralph.
He supposedly showed, well, Porsha told Ralph about the text message, right?
Right. About the text message. The text message. No, Ralph. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I think Dennis told Porsha about the text message and supposedly showed her. I could swear I thought Porsha had the text message. And then Porsha told Ralph about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, because and then I even remember Ralph was saying that Dennis called him asking permission
for his blessing, which we all know is bullshit.
Is not true. It's all bullshit. We've not seen anything in writing that substantiates any of these things. It's all he said, she said. Nothing has been,
right.
No receipts have been.
No, I really think they just got to stop letting Dennis film.
Yeah. I agree.
But then Drew's got nothing. She should go too, though.
Yeah, but she can do her deal without us seeing Dennis. We don't need to see Dennis.
Exactly.
I'd rather
Exactly.
I'd rather see her sister and her mother.
Yeah, no, me too. But I'm saying, like, she probably thinks that she needs Dennis to, like, have a storyline, whatever, have some kind of connection because now she's just messing with Porsha by filming with.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, they signed the deal and now they're officially working together on this record deal. So they're tied together legally and he's going to be
Yep.
getting paid
Yep.
with actual money, not with sex. So
Right.
we can put that to bed, right? Then Portia shows up at Phaedra's house and
We
that
finally see the slanderer.
yes. So Phaedra says the last time you saw me wasn't my best moment. And they cut to the reunion of 2017. And Andy says to Phaedra that you got caught in a megawatt lie. And Phaedra's response to Andy was, obviously, I didn't think that this was going to happen like this. And she also admits that everything was good until she decided to play with fire. She said she regrets how she left the group, but, you know, he who is without fault can cast the first stone.
So I think it was good that she acknowledged it.
I do
However,
too.
I don't think she's very remorseful, but she doesn't have to be remorseful because she was back on Bravo in no time.
She doesn't
She
have
does
to
not
be.
have to be remorseful. She
She
should
doesn't.
be. She's not.
I think the interesting thing is that her and Portia have remained friends over the years. I mean, Portia's the one who threw her under the bus, but she's the one who gave Portia the information, and Portia didn't know it wasn't true,
Right.
right? But
Right.
they still remain friends over the years, and
I mean, they probably haven't seen each other. I mean,
maybe not.
they're gonna kiki now because of the show. They're gonna be frickin' frack again. So,
Yeah,
but that's just a financially smart move on both their parts for the show.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Um, Phaedra's talking about how she met Kelli and how she's little, and she really likes little
She's
people.
giving garden gnome.
She says Britt Edie is a woman about town and about the countries, but
Countries.
she's so funny. I mean, she does give good shade.
She does. She says she's had many suitors.
That's right. Portia tells her about the trip that they're going to Grenada and that, she wants to invite her, but Kelli and Shamea are throwing the trip, so they're hosting it. So she calls them up via FaceTime and lets them know that, she's inviting Phaedra and they're happy and, excited that Phaedra's going to be coming. That's the way you invite somebody on a trip that you're not hosting.
That's right.
You get the approval of the hosts, which she did. So we'll have to see how this trip goes. But Phaedra was on Watch What Happens Live that night with Lala Anthony. Did you get to see any of that?
I didn't.
I watched it. There really wasn't that much on there. She did say that, she's happy to be back. She thought it was incredible to be back. And she also said, which I thought was interesting, Andy asked her about what she thought of Britt's hosting that event. And Phaedra gave her a lot of grace. She said, well, she's new to this. We'll teach her. We'll get her to where she needs to be. Which I thought that was pretty
That's
nice.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because she could have ripped her apart like we just did.
Yep, she sure could have, but she did not. She did not.
That's interesting. Could you understand in that last scene what she was saying about Charles?
That
Phaedra said something about Charles, but I couldn't understand her. And I think I even rewound it and I was like, I got.
I mean, I thought the only thing that she said is that, she knows him from around Atlanta and that he's a good guy.
Okay.
I mean, it was asked maybe on Watch What Happens Live about him dating Sheree in the past. And I mean, she kind of acknowledged it on Watch What Happens Live, but she really said a whole lot of nothing. She didn't really acknowledge it, but she didn't not acknowledge it.
Right.
So she didn't have anything bad to say about him.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. I mean, obviously, what are people going to say? He's a player? Like, okay, we get it. Like, he's had some bad moments. Yes, he got kicked out of the garden for being drunk. The owner kicked him out. Like, yeah,
Yeah, no, but she
we
didn't
already
say
knew that.
she did not say anything bad about him. She did not. Yeah.
I was just curious.
So I'm excited to see how it plays out now with her and the other women on this cast trip.
There's only 5 more episodes I heard on 2Ts.
Okay, I believe that because, like I said, we're already on episode 12.
Yeah. yeah, so that's what they were saying. Tamara was like, so they're getting 17 episodes, and Dolores was like, that's, compared to Jersey, because I always said it. Jersey gets like 12 or 13 episodes now, and that's like with a 3-part reunion. It's crazy.
Well, they used to
Maybe
get
not. Maybe
20. They
12
used to get
episodes.
they used to get 20.
Absolutely. Yep.
They used to get a
If
lot.
you rewatch some, it's just in my DVR. I guess they played Jersey last week, and all of a sudden I have like 40 episodes of Real Housewives of New Jersey, which, don't get me wrong, I'm tempted to watch, but I don't. So I delete them. But yeah, there used to be like 20 episodes a season. But I guess with reunion, we'll probably get 20 out of it. We'll have 17 regular episodes, maybe a 2-part reunion, because really, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, because we can't talk about Kenya because she's not going to be
No.
there. So
Right.
that's the first 5 episodes?
Yeah. And they haven't filmed the reunion yet, so.
Right. They haven't filmed the reunion yet, so
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I'm excited now. I feel like we're getting a little more like energy back into the show again.
Definitely. Definitely. This was a good episode, though.
I thought so too.
I mean, I hate to admit it, but I mean, it was a disaster that you couldn't look away from. Like the whole time at this event, I'm like, I can't believe she's not feeding everyone.
I know.
It's like what my nightmares are made of.
I know. And she didn't even want him to sit.
Didn't want them to sit. She was mad that the people she invited to her event were sitting in chairs.
I know. That's
I mean,
crazy.
crazy.
Crazy. All right. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.